Morning, everybody. Summer camping. So my wife is out of town for the week. She's at a summer school, summer conference, summer camp thing for her job. And we decided to load the boys up, head up the mountain, and go camping. It rained before we got here last night, and then it rained as we were getting here last night, and it rained this morning as we were setting up, but now it's just beautiful. Last night it got down to about probably like 40 degrees, but we had the boys all bundled up in the canvas cutters. I got the summit out here today, taking a few pictures for the canvas cutter website and for our social media. And yeah, everything's just kind of drying out. The boys are down playing in the creek. I'll show you guys the setup right here. Check this out. So a lot of people ask me, one of the most frequent rebuttals to the bedroll questions that I get is, what do I need a bedroll for if I tent camp, right? And yeah, sometimes you don't. For us though, they come in pretty clutch. This tent, it rained last night, and serious amount of condensation. The sidewalls were soaked when we woke up this morning, but I was in here all warm and dry. And then the dog, she sleeps on the foot. This is one of the old pearl gray fortresses. This is one of our first bedrolls. That's like a burrow duffel prototype. My kids get a lot of the old prototypes and discontinued stuff, but she sleeps, the dog sleeps at the foot of his bed. She was soaking wet. That's all muddy, you can see, but it's already dried up this morning. The boys this morning walked all over my bedroll, and it just doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about your stuff getting wet. What you got, bud?
Donut. Take a picture of my donut.
What do you guys think about camping? You like camping? What's up, you guys? It's been a minute. Missed you guys. I say that so that you feel good, but I don't really know most of you. Weird way to start a video. I got all kinds of stuff going on right here. I got the bow, got the arrows, I got my tree saddle on my back. Rocky's got a target. We're headed down in the pasture out there. We're gonna throw a tree saddle up in the tree, practice shooting some arrows, practice setting it up, and then we are also gonna set up a tent that we're gonna be using this year and trying out and show you guys that. Dude, it's almost time. The hunts are about here. All right, so I haven't touched this thing since last year, and I never really did get that good at setting it up last year. This tree's really big. I don't know if our straps are gonna be big enough to go around it or not. I'm gonna say not. So we may have to double some of these. So this is the tethered Phantom XL. It's really easy to put on. Like, you could really walk to your stand with this on, and I think that's kind of how it was intended. Looks like I'm approximately the same weight as last year, but these hang fairly loose. This is a Dyneema woven rope with crazy tensile strength. And then this is my tether. This knot right here is tension based off of whether or not you have weight on it, right? And then this one is my tether. So since we're not actually climbing, it doesn't really matter. You know, obviously if I was doing this on a high tree, I would take a lot more safety precautions, but seeing as we're just doing it right here, at low height, like this, up and over there, yourself in, and then you can adjust your tension here, back however you want. So we're remembering it, folks. We're remembering how this all works. And this is a weird tree to try to get it set up on because we can't even really hang off the main trunk. But so if you're doing this ideally in real life, you'd have this lineman's belt on too, and I really should throw it on just as a second attachment point. But this way you're tied into your Dyneema. If anything happens, you can lean either way. You can give yourself more slack right here if you want by taking the weight off of this knot and letting it slide down like that. So if I wanted to have sit back further or something, you just sit into it like that. And then the thing that I haven't messed with yet is shooting out of these. I haven't shot out of them much at all, but I know there's ways that like you just have to get comfortable turning around and like leaning against it like this so you can shoot outward. So that's kind of why I wanted to set this thing up, is to start to get comfortable like shooting out of it, sitting in it for a long time, and just kind of more comfortable with the full setup. So when I walk up to a new tree, it's not like a new thing every time. This side is hard. See, I want to swing y'all. I'm going to fall. I guess that tells you it works. Should we see if I can figure out how to get back on it? So this is like a real life scenario. Like if this really happened. Come on! Alright. I'm back. Whew. You guys are witnessing some acrobatics tonight. There we go. Third shot was the best shot. All right, folks, so this is something else that we're going to be using this year. These are from Argali. This one's called the Rincon 2-person tent, and this one is the Absaroka 4-person tent. So we're going to set up the 4-person today. We're going to seam seal them. If we have time tonight, we'll seam seal them, but I might just try it out and see. But I think this is like under 2 pounds, has a 4-person shelter. The pole's carbon, ultralight, and so you can have really, like you guys will see when I set it up, how big of a shelter it is for just this much size, and it can compress quite a bit more than that too. It's a pretty good sized bag. I think the bag is designed to be used with the floor. I think they're on pre-order from Argali, but Brad hooked us up with this 4-person to try out. So let's set it up, see what we think. So when you open it, it comes with the seam sealer, has a little brush in there. And I don't know that I'm gonna seam seal it today, because you have to, I think, set it up inside out. Anyway, Argali said they're gonna make a video about how to do it and put it on their YouTube. So go check out their YouTube if you want to learn more about it. So this is what comes in the 4-person, nicely folded, really good size shelter. Comes with some stakes, these little teeny cute ultralight guys. I have no idea how to set it up, and I watched 0 instructional videos, so we're gonna learn together. So this is the pole, obviously end cap. It's gonna be top or bottom, end cap. So I think the stoutest one goes in the middle. I mean, it's gotta be it, right? And all your adjustment. Okay, so that looked complicated, but it wasn't actually complicated. Has all these holes for adjustment here, so once you get it up where you want it, and like pretty stout and very, very lightweight. So we're gonna stake down the corners because it seems like it would make sense. And you go through the paracord loop out here. Obviously, if we were pitching it for bad weather, we'd go a lot deeper than that with our stake. These have adjusters on them too. Now this has 2 doors on it, which is cool. So I'm gonna unzip it. Really smooth zipper. Zips all the way up to the ridge line pretty much. Stand her up. Now, pretty slick. So, I know there's a way you can pitch it with those stakes buried a little bit deeper if you don't want to have airflow underneath. I'm gonna have stake here by the door, stake one side of that, and then go around and stake these ones in. Same thing here, stake one side of the door, and then finish over here. And it's pretty much done. Now, pretty freaking slick, really. You can see, come in here, this is the stove jack. If you want that out, like the zippers on the other side, but has this heat-proof material on it, and it does zip fully out, and you can remove it if you're not going to use your stove jack, and then you can save the weight on this piece right here. Yeah, that's a vent, it looks like. And maybe, yeah, it's got some mesh there. And so you could probably flap that vent up there and ventilate there if you want to. But, I mean, as you can see, like, 2 guys in gear all day. And really, you could do 1, 2, 3, and then have a stove by the door, which is, I think, kind of the thought process for it. But it's pretty slick. That's the Absaroka 4P from Argali. Definitely gonna take it on some hunts this year. See how it does. You can go send your girlfriend an unsolicited wick pic.